Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name? I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean,
did you enjoy what that bishop was saying, or did you not think like I did? Wow, have you not got the memo that people are fed up with this stuff?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all's good wherever you are. In this video, I have two clips for you guys. The first one is of Conservative Party leader in Canada, Pierre Poilievre, taking down and silencing a low-IQ news host. And the second clip is going to be of the Piers show that just dropped today, Uncensored, where they talk about the lunatic bishop that gave the sermon after Trump's inauguration. Let's get into the first clip.
First day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally?
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am a, as
okay.
people say, cis man.
Good,
there are people there who, they say they're
me too.
gender neutral.
Well.
You are a man, yes. There are people out there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of two, and as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Trump is in America. Hopefully this guy wins in Canada. We can get back to a North America of common sense. Before we get to Piers Morgan, if you guys don't mind smashing that thumbs up button for your boy, that really goes a long way to help me out. And also, if you're not yet subscribed and this is not your first time here, hopefully this could be the video where I earn your subscription. Let's get it. Yeah.
Staggered that at such a moment when you got a new president, whoever it is, for the bishop to suddenly launch into what was very clearly a pretty partisan political speech, which bore very little relation to the fact that all Trump had said was there are two genders, male and female. That's it. That doesn't seem to me to be leading directly to young kids all over America fearing for their lives, unless I missed something.
No. And before I even answer that, Trump put out that tweet at about midnight. So the 12 a.m. mean tweets are back in full effect. I know. Yeah, when I first saw this video, I saw it in the same format that you just showed. It looked like a stitch almost, like one side and one side. And I thought it was a skit until I realized, of course, that it wasn't. As you mentioned, Trump's EO that he signed, which I would imagine as this is why this bishop went into this parade in the way that she did, it merely just defined male and female and indicated those are the only two sexes that exist. I would love to ask this bishop, okay, if there are more, then what are they? I know you've had Harry Sisson on this show. I love that clip of you, Piers, asking him, what are that you say there are more than two genders. Right. What are the other genders? And of course, there's never an answer. So it's wild to me that we live in this time where we have to applaud such decisive and executive action. Truthfully, I don't want to, because it's like we're applauding someone for saying that the sky is blue. But nonetheless, that is the point of decay that we have reached as a society. So it's a big victory, and it's certainly worth celebrating. And I think this female bishop is just your classic progressive pastor, quick to speak of God's grace, but hesitant to condemn sin. And so preaching half of the truth isn't preaching the gospel at all.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Smith, I just found it extraordinary that she went to kind of DEFCON 3. There are children all over America fearing for their lives simply because Donald Trump said there's male and female out there. That's it. That's how we're now going to deal with this issue. That's how people are going to be referred to. How does that lead? Where's the correlation to a load of American kids terrified for their lives?
Well, I mean, look, and I just think this represents so much of what we've had to deal with insane wokeism over the last decade at least, and what has just been rejected by the American people. And you nailed it, Piers, right? It's that this is clearly a political speech. This is how the woke do it, right? It's clearly a political speech, but you present it as if you're transcending above politics, and it's just about morality, but obviously it's not. And look, the two major political issues that she was hitting on, number one, I mean, I completely agree with Riley on this. And if humanity survives for another 50 years, when historians write books about this time period, it will just be about the mass psychosis and how madness just swept, culture. And the stuff is just it's so ridiculous. And again, like the example of you asking that kid how many genders there are. Nobody can answer the most simple questions when it comes to the trans thing. Like the most basic one of why can't I identify as a horse?
Yeah.
If objective biology doesn't exist anymore.
No, I've actually been on this. I identified on International Women's Day.
You can.
Several years ago, I identified
as
a...
Dave.
Well, I can go better. I can go better. I identified as a...
Can I also... okay.
Well, Dave, the point I was going to make was on International Women's Day a couple of years ago, I identified on my show as a black lesbian because, frankly, if self-identity is limitless, why can't I?
Exactly, Piers. And let me just, by the way, to your point of your response of I can identify as a horse. Yes, okay, I can. And the correct reaction to that should be for everyone else to you're an insane person.
But you're not a horse.
And you're also a person, a human being.
These people are ridiculous when it comes to the trans issue. They have all the same rights that everybody else has. And these same crazies that tells you to follow the science when it comes to something like a vaccine. Oh, you gotta trust the science. Yet these people don't know basic biology. These same woke fools that make fun of Christians because we believe in God, or any religion, right? They believe in a higher power, but they believe that you can wake up one day as a grown-arse man and just think that you're a woman. You have no idea how that would feel like because you are not a woman, the same way a woman would never know how it feels to be a man. But you can just magically wake up one morning and we're all supposed to feed in your delusion. Not happening. This stuff is coming to an end very quickly. Let's get back to it.
Just for the record,
but anyway, and then with the whole this whole weaponized empathy about immigration. I mean, look, Piers, I'm sure you've seen some of the most recent polls. Americans agree by super majorities that they reject the de facto open borders of the Biden administration. And so to make this political speech while the guy, which is against the politics of the guy who just got elected, and also against what has been wokeism and open borders have been rejected by super majorities of the American people. And so to make this speech in this moment was just totally inappropriate and just, I don't know, there's something about it that I find disgusting. This thing where you just hide behind there are people who are afraid and the trans kids are afraid. Yeah, you know what? There are other people who are afraid that these progressive maniacs are going to propagandize their children more with this gender nonsense. And I'm a little bit more concerned for those people. So we had an election. We've had national debates about this. That stuff has been rejected again by super majorities of the American people.
It has. Ali, what are your thoughts on this? I really did think it was hit completely the wrong mark. She may feel all these things, but to just start, I mean, it seemed to me the biggest problem the Democrats had in the last 4 years, culminating in the terrible beating they got in the election, was that they kept scolding the American people. Constant scolding, culminating in Barack Obama scolding other black Americans. If you don't vote for Kamala because she's black, effectively, then you're betraying black people. It's this constant, self-righteous, high moral scolding. And they took a terrible drubbing in the election. Trump's back with a bang. And rather than be clever and move on and evolve as a party and work out how to find the next Bill Clinton or someone like it who can actually take this head on and be a proper opponent, it seemed to me they've learned nothing. You say you're a Democrat now. Did you enjoy what that bishop was saying? Or did you not think like I did, wow, have you not got the memo that people are fed up with this stuff?
Okay, let me start off by saying the slippery slope argument is not a real argument of, oh, people are going to start identifying as horses. That is reminiscent of the gay marriage era. That is what you said. The gay marriage era where people said that people were going to start marrying their pets. It's ridiculous.
It's a logical. Listen, it's not, again, just to not strawman me. I'm making a logical analogy. Yeah. I'm not equating the two things. And I'm not saying that transgenderism will lead to people identifying as a horse. The point is to attack the logic. What's wrong with me saying I'm a horse? You now have to respect my identity as a horse. What's wrong with it is that objective reality exists.
Not a horse. Yeah,
exactly.
The point is, the point is, Ali, limitless self-identity means that anyone, anywhere can identify as whatever they like. And the reason it matters is that this goes right to the heart of a trans debate, say, in women's sport. I want trans people to have the same rights to equality and fairness as everybody else on this panel, including me, right? What I don't want is women's rights being trashed in the process.
They are correct when they say that when historians look at this time in history, but I think they're going to look at this time in history as a horrible time because of what we've done to our young children, right? The double mastectomy is done on 8, 10, 12, 13-year-old girls, the castration of young boys, the mutilation of our children will be how this is remembered, for me anyway, looking back on it. The woke, goofy stuff, that'll go away. But what we've done to our kids is as bad as a genocide, in my opinion. The fact that these creep show doctors were allowed to do this, they should all be prosecuted in a time where we're putting people in jail for being pro-life and protesting in front of abortion clinics. We are doing this. This has to end, and it has to end soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoy the content. If you did, smash that thumbs up button for your boy. Consider subscribing to the channel, help it grow. I'll catch you all in the next video. I appreciate all of you. Peace out, everybody.